Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a revolution that's happening right under our noses in genomic medicine. We're going to look at how AI is taking what used to be a slow, super expensive research tool and turning it into something we can use on the front lines of healthcare. And it's making it cheaper, faster, and a whole lot fairer. So picture this. You've got a critically ill baby in an ICU. Doctors think it's a genetic disorder. Now, traditional genome sequencing, that could take days, maybe even weeks to get a result. But in a crisis like that, you don't have weeks, you've got hours. And that time gap, that has been one of the single biggest roadblocks to using genomics when it truly matters most. Well, that old reality is over. With new AI-powered workflows, it's now actually possible to go from a simple blood sample to a full diagnostic result in under 8 hours. And let's be clear, this isn't some far-off future prediction. This is happening today, changing lives and turning genomics into a legit rapid response tool. So how in the world is a leap like this even possible? You might think it's just about faster machines, but the real secret is a massive, fundamental shift in how we actually read the data. We've basically moved out of the world of stats and into the world of computer vision. You see, for years, finding genetic variants was all about complex statistical models. It was, really just sophisticated guesswork. The new way? It treats that raw genetic data like it's an image. So think less about balancing a crazy complex equation and more like how facial recognition spots your face in a crowded photo. It's a whole new way of looking at things. And the engine driving all of this is a tool called deep variant. It uses something called convolutional neural networks. That's the same kind of AI that identifies cats and dogs in your photos, but instead, we've trained it to literally see mutations in our DNA. It turns the raw sequencer data into a picture, then scans it for tiny differences with just incredible precision, because it's learned how to filter out all the background noise that used to confuse the older methods. Okay, so this one single shift in technology unlocks 3 huge, tangible benefits that are completely changing the game. This isn't just some small improvement for researchers. It really rewrites the entire playbook for how we do genomics, both in the clinic and as a business. First up, let's talk money, cost. So traditionally, to get an accurate result, you'd have to sequence a genome about 30 times. We call that 30x coverage. Think of it like taking 30 photos of something just to make sure you get one perfectly sharp image. But deep variant is so good at cutting through the noise, it can get that same crystal clear picture with just 20 or 25 passes. And that translates directly to a massive, roughly 25% cost reduction. Second, speed. This is obvious, right? These new AI pipelines are built from the ground up to run on modern computer hardware. We're talking GPUs. The results? A 3-fold speed improvement over the older systems. And that is a huge piece of the puzzle for getting results back to doctors in hours, not days. And third, and this is a big one, precision. The AI is unbelievably good at spotting really complex mutations, things like insertions and deletions, or indels. These are the tricky ones that the old methods would just stumble over all the time. We're now seeing the error rate for these specific mutations get cut by nearly half. That means fewer wrong calls and way more accurate diagnoses. And this table just lays it all out, clear as day. Look at sequencing data required. The old way needs around 30x coverage. The new AI-enhanced way, just 20 to 25x. You can go down the list. Across every single important metric, the AI tools are just flat out better. They learn on their own, they need less data, and they cut down on all that expensive, time-consuming manual work. And the technology gets even smarter when we look at families. For diagnosing rare diseases, sequencing the child and both parents, what we call a trio, is the absolute gold standard. So there's a specialized model called Deep Trio that's trained just for this. It's way better at finding those brand new mutations that weren't inherited but just popped up in the child. And that's often exactly where the answer lies. But honestly, maybe the most profound impact of this whole AI approach is how it's helping us solve one of the biggest ethical and technical problems in medicine, the bias that was baked right into our original genomic data. So here's the deal. For decades, every time we sequenced a genome, we compared it to one single reference map. And that map was overwhelmingly based on people of European ancestry. This created a giant blind spot. It's called the Streetlamp effect. If a genetic variant in a patient wasn't in that reference map, we'd either miss it completely or get it wrong. And this led to way higher rates of misdiagnosis for anyone who wasn't of European descent. The answer to that problem is the pan-genome. So instead of one single straight line of a reference, the pangenome is more like a massive interconnected city map. It's built from the genomes of dozens of people from all over the world, from very diverse backgrounds. It's just a much more complete and honest map of what human genetics actually looks like.
And the impact is just staggering. When we use the pangenome as our map, we suddenly find over 100% more of these big, large-scale structural variants. Now, we're not talking about single-letter typos here. These are like whole paragraphs getting rearranged or deleted. They can have huge medical consequences, and before, we were basically blind to half of them.
So this is so much more than a technical upgrade. It's a foundational shift. It drops our error rate by over a third and finally starts to make precision medicine precise for everybody, not just for people who look like the original reference genome. It corrects a major historical wrong. So what does all this actually mean for you, if you're a clinician or an entrepreneur in this space? The big takeaway is that these tools are not stuck in research labs anymore. They are ready to go today. You have a brand new genomic toolkit at your disposal. Here are 3 things you could do tomorrow. 1. Start cutting your sequencing costs by using deep variant and lowering your coverage. 2. Speed up your diagnoses in those critical cases using cloud-based AI pipelines. And 3. Boost your accuracy. Go back and reanalyze your old, unsolved cases with a more powerful tool like Deep Trio. You might find answers you missed the first time. So the bottom line is this. AI has completely rewritten the rules for genomics. It is now faster, it is way cheaper, and critically, it is more equitable than ever before. This isn't coming. It's here. It's a new standard of care, and it's opening up these incredible opportunities for innovation. The only real question left is your toolkit ready for it?